is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Weapon Collective. My name's Jeff, and we are back down in the Gat Cave, which typically means we're looking at a new gun. And today is no exception. We are doing that, but before we get to it, I did just want to take a second, as I like to do, and say thank you to everybody that's been tuning into the channel. We're right about 75,000 subscribers, which is crazy. And website launched. If you're looking for any merchandise, that is on theweaponcollective.com. And I just appreciate everybody that's made merchandise purchases thus far. Thank you. That is crazy. I never even thought this channel being what it is at this point. And just wanted to really voice my appreciation. So thank you for everything. All the support for the channel is so cool. And now let's get to the good stuff. What are we talking about? Well, before we actually look at the gun, we're talking about the Staccato Hd P4.5. This thing was supposed to be out last April, I believe, and it was a gun that followed the original, which was the HD P4, and that was the kind of Staccato's agency gun. By agency, I mean government agency. So it had a Series 80 trigger, which means it's drop safe, full ambi, and takes Glock mags. Well, the 4.5 is no different, maybe just has a few more bells and whistles. Unfortunately, I do not have my Staccato P4 here. That I would love to show in comparison to the 4.5. That's been at Monsoon Tactical for a few months, and I am anxiously awaiting its return. I wish I had it here so I could show a comparison between the two, but as soon as that comes back, it will be nice to kind of have them side by side and show the differences between the two. But until I get that, we're just gonna have to deal with this guy today. So this is the new kid on the block from Staccato, and this is the Staccato Hd P4.5. So what does that mean? Well, this one has a 4.5-inch barrel, which the 4 had a 4. And this guy, the big deal on this is the front sight block barrel. So just as they did with the XC, this front sight block is milled into the barrel. I will take that apart and show you in a little bit. And then this is the premium model. So what does that mean? Well, it has a DLC coated front sight block barrel, has these X series serrations, which I don't want to make it a general rule. There are some exceptions, but these typically only come on like the XC, the XL, guns like that. But here they pop up on the HD P4.5, and I also have a P Heritage Edition. That is a 4.15-inch barrel that has the X series serration. So they do make appearances outside of the X series, but they're kind of the special guns. So on the premium model of this version, you get the X series serrations instead of just the slide cuts. And then we also have the aluminum curved trigger and the HD magwell from Staccato, which I really like. If you guys remember when the HD P4 was released, they shipped, everybody was super excited, we all got them in hand and realized that they didn't have the optic plates ready yet. So that was a huge bummer. So having this thing ready to rock with the optic plate ready to go and throw an optic on it is much better release than the P4. So I do if you watch the channel, you know how I set this thing up. I got a Trijicon SRO and a Surefire X300. That is my go-to. And then the other fancy pants part of this is that it runs Glock mags. And it does ship with the metal Mechgar mag, but also if you watch the channel, you know I like my base plate. So I think that looks just so much better than that. And you get a couple more rounds. Can't beat that in my book. And this is the Staccato P4.5, and let's check this trigger out. Aluminum curved trigger, and you do have a little take up. It's a little kind of mushy I would say. And then it is a nice brake. It's a weird reset, that's all I can say. There's no like clear point of which it is reset. It just kind of slops out and then it's reset, but there's no tactile feel where you break back into reset, and there's no audible click with the reset. It's just mushed out there. We'll see how that goes shooting it. As long as you got that trigger pull down, it feels like that wouldn't be an issue, but it is nice to have that forceful reset where it's clearly indicated when that trigger's reset. Well, maybe it's breaking, maybe it's getting there a little more, but yeah, those first few, it's still a little, it's not that defined of a reset, but that might change as it breaks in. Guns are known to do that, just kind of settle into themselves. And I hope that's what happens here. Let's go over some of the drawbacks or complaints that were made against the P4. First of which was this area right here on the beaver tail. That was kind of biting people and irritating their hand. This doesn't seem to do it. My gun didn't seem to be a real problem in my hand. Granted, when I was shooting it more, it was middle of winter and I had gloves on half the time, so I didn't really experience any of that. But we'll see when it comes back, because monsoon's not changing anything back there. We'll see if that is the case and if it persists on the P4.5. So that was one thing. Another complaint I heard was people having these safeties just walk on. My P4 never did that, but this is just what I was hearing. We'll stay kind of in tune and watch for those. And there were people that had some rattle from this recoil buffer, but this one doesn't. I mean, honestly, this thing feels just so nice in the hand. The trigger feels really nice. The brake feels, it's just, my gun's been gone so long, I can't remember exactly what that trigger brake felt like. But this one, the trigger seems to feel better and the slide feels more buttery. But maybe I'm misremembering. I'm gonna have to get that thing back and really get it in hand because it has been a long time. But it should be out soon. And then the magwell on this, I think that looks just perfect. I love magwells, and it is ambi. So if you're a lefty, this is an awesome gun for you because it has ambi thumb safeties and ambi slide release. So, and you can swap this mag release over to this side. So full ambi gun, if you're a lefty, the HD is kind of made for you. Right-handed person like me, all those things are irrelevant, but nice to know they're there, I guess. And other than that, I'm just really just need to shoot it. So let me take this slide apart and I will show you this sight block barrel. Okay, so you get the slide off. Then you obviously, this is that recoil buffer that I was talking about that some people have complained about rattling. Take that out, take this plug out, and then you have this barrel with this front sight block just milled into it, which Staccato has absolutely mastered that as far as milling that front compensator on the XC, and it just does a really good job. Here's the slide without all that on it. See the X series serrations, and that's really it. And then you have this guy, and I did do a full disassembly, like breakdown of the whole P4. I will do it with this. I know there's been some people requesting that I take the entire top side, just taking everything apart on the slide, the extractor, the firing pin stop and all that. So I will do that. Stay tuned. This is just the intro video, but I will get to that and just fully disassemble this thing. And that's really it. So let me put this thing back together. Okay, that is kind of just a walk through the HD P4.5. And of course, I'm going to get this out on the range. I very much hope that my 4 returns from Monsoon Tactical soon, because I would like to get these guys both out together, which we will inevitably do. But I'm going to take this out probably this week. It's not going to be here this week, but hopefully soon. And we can put both of these up against each other and really see if there's a noticeable difference in shooting the 4.5 against the 4. And we'll also, like I said, I'll have a full disassembly breakdown where I take every piece out of this pistol. So I think those are helpful to have. There are not many of the P4. I think mine is one of only a few. And so it'll be nice to have on the 4 and the 4.5. So stay tuned for that video. And once again, this is Staccato's newest release, the Staccato HD P4.5. Very excited to shoot this thing and see how it feels. Once again, if you're interested in any of the channel merch, it is on my website at theweaponcollective.com. And other than that, just stay tuned. Please comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I'm Jeff for The Weapon Collective, reminding you, keep your weapons collected and keep collecting your weapons. I'll catch you next time.